Started.
Okay. Good evening and welcome, Nevada Camera Club members and guests, to the Nevada Camera Club Electronic Image Competition for March 2026. We apologize for not being able to broadcast live on Friday evening, but we hope you will partake of watching the video and our competition that happened that evening. A final reminder to those of you who haven't done so already, please pay your 2026 dues. Those who are not current at the end of the month will be removed from active status and no longer able to participate in competitions like these. A second request is that we need help to hang the 2026 annual open print competition that was judged this past Monday. The hanging will occur at the Lloyd George Courthouse on Tuesday, April 7th. We'll start at 9 o'clock in the morning, and as many of you as are able to come out and help us, we would really appreciate that. There were 149 entries in the competition. We had an excellent judging session on Monday evening, and you'll be able to see at that time who got the good prizes. As a final reminder, the copy deadline for Focal Expressions is this coming Tuesday, March 31st. Thank you to the 4 executive board members who've already gotten me your articles. I really appreciate it. Our competition staff this evening includes setup assistants from Stephen Cup, Craig Hicks, Linda Hicks, Mary Sheets, and Ed Stiglitz. Our announcer this evening is Linda Hicks. Our projectionist is Ed Stiglitz with the assistance of Stephen Cup. Our scorekeeper is Mary Sheets, and our merits recorder is Juliana Stratton. Our judges this evening: in Chair 1, Clayton Fox; Chair 2, Janice Phillips; Chair 3, Jerome Hamilton; Chair 4, Mike Chapman; Chair 5, Ron Frost; and our alternate judge in Chair 6, Craig Hicks. We had 43 members enter 119 images in 46 unique categories. For those who have live mics, please turn off your cell phones. Judges, with your comments, please remember to include a strength as well as a suggestion for improvement. And now, here are your Nevada Camera Club Electronic Image Competition for March 2026. We will start with judges 1, 2, and 3. Our first category is abstract, and we have entries in intermediate color abstract, bench lines,
Trying to keep the time down like I said at the beginning.
scores 777.
I'll talk on this for a beginner to understand the idea and to center it this way. A little blurry in the back, but hey, you got a lot of depth of field that you're working with. Good job.
The image received a 21. Technicolor. Scores 787.
I'm the high scorer. I think you did a good job for an intermediate. I like all the colors. I like the different splashes in the top and the long fluids in the bottom. You might have wanted to crop off like the left-hand side where the black is. I don't think you needed all of that for this image, but nice job.
Image received a 22. Judges, you have 2 images to review for placement, starting with Technicolor and going back 1 to bench lines. Judges, a 1 or a 2, please, for bench lines. Scores? 1, 2, 2. So the judges have chosen Technicolor. Judges 3, 4, and 5 for Advanced Color Abstract, Knight's Helmet. Scores? 8, 8, 7.
I'm one of the 8s. I think that this is a good photograph. I like technically the way it is centered with the lines and the whatever it's made out of going back and forth. And it's simply an interesting photo. Good job.
Image received a 23. Light bulb. Scores? 8, 9, 9.
I guess I'll talk because I'm the low score. I think this is a great image. I think it's an incredible commercial image. I think from an abstract kind of standpoint, I think if you would have zoomed in a lot just on the elements and all those lines around the elements, that would have made it a good abstract. Showing the whole light bulb in the way you did, I think kind of takes away from the abstract element. But this is an extremely great image. I would re-enter it 100%.
Image received a 26. Untitled 1. Scores? 9, 8, 8.
Very nice image, like the colors, I like the softness of the colors. I think you did well.
Image received a 25. Judges, you have 3 images to review for placement, starting with Untitled 1, going back 1 to light bulb, and going back 1 more to Knight's helmet. Judges, a 1, 2, or 3, please, for Knight's helmet. Scores? Mike, bring yours down a little bit. 3, 1, 3. Light bulb. Scores? 2, 2, 1. And Untitled 1. Scores? 1, 3, 2. So you chose light bulb for first. In second, Untitled 1. And in third, Knight's helmet. Thank you. Judges 2, 3, and 5, please, for Advanced Monochrome Abstract Endurance. Scores? 6, 7, 9.
I'm right in the middle here. You know, I really like the idea you're going for. I think I like the black and white tones of this image. I think it's handled very well. None of the sand in the bottom is helping you, and not necessarily the trees and branches behind you are helping you. I think most of the focus and the interest is in this main branch, either the trunk area or where all the branches on the left side are coming down. I think if you focused on one of those areas a little bit more, it would be much stronger.
Image received a 22. Do web. Scores 988.
I
Comment?
like this a lot. Um, I love how the web is kind of twisting, and I think that's what really added most of the interest to that instead of being a normal web that would just be straight out in every direction. I think that twist really brought it up a notch. I was kind of struggling a little bit with the silhouette, kind of posterization of the just the black and the white. I think if there was a little bit more tone to it, it would have helped, but that might have not been able to happen with the dewdrops on the web.
Image received a 25. Judges, there are 2 images to review for placement, starting with do web and going back 1 to endurance. Judges, a 1 or a 2, please, for endurance. Scores 222. So the judges have chosen do web. We are in animals and pets now, and we will start with beginner color animals and pets, judges 1, 3, and 4 with sad pug. Scores 888.
I'll speak to this one. I think it's a great picture. It shows the dog being left in the car, at least it seems that way to me, and not liking it very much. I think that the dog is just a little bit out of focus. That's what I'd work on.
The image received a 24 and was the only image in the category. Same judges, please, for advanced color animals and pets. A bumblebee visits my garden. Scores 8-8. Mike up a little bit. 9.
Scoring this image on its own as an image. Great focus on the bee. His wings a little blurred. I think that's probably from movement. You have a little bit of, focus in the back of the flower, a little bit more diffused in the front, I think works. I really think if this had a little bit more of an angled lines coming in instead of just kind of coming in straight and the bee being at a straight line, it would add a little bit more dynamic to the image overall.
Image received a 25 and was the only image in the category. Same judges, please. We are in the commercial category. We have advanced color commercial. Love being here. Scores? 888.
I like
You
the
know-
photograph. I'm not sure what product is being offered for sale for it to be in a commercial category.
That was my comment also.
Well, I beat you to it.
You did.
Image
was
received,
muted.
image received a 24 was the only image in the category. Same judges, one more category for intermediate color creative, Shem Creek, Charleston, South Carolina.
Intermediate color.
What category again? Sorry.
This is creative,
Intermediate.
correct. Scores? 988.
I'm judging this as an image without worrying about the category. I think you've used the rule of thirds here. You've got the boat line, the bottom of the boat, right? The bottom thirds, the tree lines at the top third. The little boathouse is at a third. The mast is coming down at a third. I think you've done technically everything looks good. I don't really see creative though. I think if this would have had a little bit more of a creative application that made me feel that way, it probably would have scored a little bit higher.
Image received a 25 and was the only image in the category. Judges 2, 3, and 4, please. For intermediate monochrome creative, Sin City Shadows.
Can you tell me everything again for the image, the division and everything, please?
It is intermediate monochrome creative, Sin City Shadows.
Thank you.
Scores? 898.
I think,
Go ahead.
no, go ahead, Mike.
I gave it one of the 8s. I like the photograph. I think it is creative. And there's a lot here with the impact. I'm not sure the shadow of the photographer is, it distracts me a little bit.
Image received a 25 was the only image in the category. Same judges, please, for advanced color creative, Olive Branch. Scores? Up, Mike. 989.
I really like this image. I like the position of the vine. I like the multiple colors in this image. At first I thought, well, maybe it's competing too much with the background colors, but I actually like the way the background is and the fact that all the colors blend in together. It's really nice.
Image received a 26. Little Chief. Scores? 998.
I think this is handled really well. You started off with a very nice portrait of this young man, and then, adding the creative watercolor look and really kind of washing out the feathers in the background really draws your attention right to his eyes, and that really makes it pop.
Image received a 26. Alaskan Peaks. Scores? 8, 7, Mike up. 9.
Ooh, 879.
I scored it because it's a beautiful image of the mountains. It doesn't really fit this category because I don't see anything creative in it, but it would have been, scored higher in a different category. It's a beautiful image.
Image received a 24. Judges, there are 3 images to review for placement, starting with Alaskan Peaks, going back 1 to Little Chief, and going back 1 more to Olive Branch. Judges, a 1, 2, or 3, please, for Olive Branch. Scores? 2, 2, 1. Little Chief. Scores? Up, Mike. 1, 1, 2. And Alaskan Peaks. Scores? 3, 3, 3. So the judges have chosen Little Chief for first, followed by Olive Branch and Alaskan Peaks. Thank you. Judges 1, 2, and 5, please, for advanced monochrome creative, Moon over Aspen. Scores? 7, 8, 9.
Like the moon, I think the light on the aspens helped to show it in and focus on the moon.
Image received a 24 was the only image in the category.
If I can say something, thank you, Linda, going back. I've been experimenting with these also. My recommendation is probably some more trees and whitening up the moon a bit and getting rid of that color cast that's surrounding it.
Thank you, Clayton. Same judges, please, for Master Color Creative, Star. Scores? 8, 9, 8.
This is a really interesting image. I'm not even sure exactly what you're taking. In fact, it could have even been put in abstract because I don't know what it is. But I like the fact the brighter colors are in the middle, and the lines of the white leading out to the edges, which are more subdued. Nice image.
Image received a 25. Italian Sunset. Scores? 9, 8, 8.
I'll talk to it because of the high score, but for me, saying anything about it would just be all good news. maybe one of the eights should say something. What I like about it is the intentional noise and the color.
Does one of the eights want to speak to it? Karen?
I like the colors. I like the subdued colors of the building in contrast to the bright orange of the sunset, and the fact that the canoers really add a little, interest to the image.
Image received a 25. Judges, you have 2 images to review for placement, starting with Italian sunset and going back 1 to star. Judges, a 1 or a 2, please, for star. Scores? 2, 1, 1. So the judges have chosen star. Judges 1, 2, and 4, please, for beginner color documentary. Lunch with one of the precious few gorillas left, Bwindi Impenetrable Forest, Uganda. Scores? 999.
This is a great image. I love his expression. I mean, everything works here except for your title. It's not really a title, it's a caption. Captions explain everything. Titles are just short little references for the image. So learn how to create short titles.
Image received a 27 and was the only image in the category. Same judges, please, for intermediate color documentary. I'm Not on the Pavement. Scores? 869.
Well, I was the high score. I thought it was very good for the category, and whatever the picture made me laugh, so it had an impact. I'd love to hear what the 6 says.
It meets the category because it documents something, but it doesn't have any impact for me. It's just a snapshot.
Image received a 23 and was the only image in the category. Judges 1, 3, and 5, please. We're in intermediate monochrome documentary, St. Christopher's Episcopal Church.
Say the category again.
Intermediate monochrome documentary.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Scores? 1, 3, and 5 for this.
That's me.
Yep, Clayton, put your score back up. Okay, scores. 8, 7, 8.
I'll talk to it. It's a good mini photo, monochrome. I'm not sure exactly what it's documenting, and that's probably why it got put down a point or two.
Let me real quick, Linda. I like the bullseye effect you have here with the roof coming off and the cross right in the middle. The palm trees kind of throw it off a little bit, so it's kind of bullseye, but kind of not with the bushes on the side. I brought it down a little bit just because if you look at the right side coming down the walkway, you can see definition in the stucco. So you should also be able to see definition in the stucco all along the front. So it is blown out just a little bit. And I don't think it's a lot that you couldn't have toned it down and brought it back so that we could see some texture in that church all the way throughout.
Image received a 23. ATM, New York City. Scores? 978.
Of course we are. You know, I think this is a great find. Um, you know, great eye to see it and try and capture it. So, you know, kudos to you for that. Keep doing it. You're going to find great things if you keep doing that. I think if you would have cut off all the left side, almost all the way to the ATM, and still leave your leading line in the bottom and your leading line in the top, and then you have all the kind of interesting graffiti on the side, I think it'd be a little bit stronger composition.
Image received a 24. Judges
And
have. Go ahead.
if I can add to whoever the creator was, from my perspective, yeah, you know, don't center it up, whatever you put it, left, right, up or down, and maybe make it a bit more contrasty. The gray background kind of fights with the black, so if it was all black, it might be a bit different. So try that and see how it looks. But you know what Jerome said was absolutely true and correct also.
Image received a 24. Judges 2 images to review, starting with ATM New York City and going back 1 to St. Christopher's Episcopal Church. Judges a 1 or 2 for St. Christopher's Episcopal Church. Scores? 222. So the judges have chosen ATM New York City. Judges 2, 3, and 5, please. We're at advanced color documentary. Man and horse in sync, polo match. Scores? 879.
I'm going to start off by saying almost any sports related type of, you know, image of any kind, you kind of want to see the ball. In this instance, unless somebody else sees it, you can point it out to me. But in this instance, especially since I don't see the ball, you could have actually waited 1 or 2 more seconds and not had the guy behind there that distracts from your 2 main guys. Also, it would have been good if these 2 guys were looking the same way, or, you know, obviously they're looking down towards the ball somewhere. It's either behind them or maybe it's in between the 2 horses. But I think you just have so many things working against you. I think good technical quality as far as the exposure and a little bit of action helps add to it, but I think we've lost some key points.
Image received a 24. Raleigh Point Lighthouse. Scores? 878.
Holy Moses.
I think you captured a nice image of this building. I think it's the horizon is off, even if naturally kind of slanted like that, straighten up the horizon. the building doesn't have any reflections. It's a nice overcast. So that's really good for this building, and you captured a nice sky.
Image received a 23. Maine Lobster Wharf. Scores? 888.
Like the image, I think they could have cropped it a little bit more on the bottom. That extra bit of walkway doesn't help. The green is interesting on the rocks, but if you bring it up that extra about, I don't know, 20% or so, then you've just got the other bridge and the building.
Image received a 24. Frontman Jake. Scores? 887.
I mean, really like the expression on this person's face. I mean, that's really entices you to keep watching. But is this the documentary category? I'm not sure what you're documenting in it. But as far as the teen, you did a great job.
Image received a 23. Death Valley Bloom. Scores? 777.
I think we're probably all on the same page. You've got that raven, and my eye just wants to keep going to the raven. It's not going to the beautiful flowers. Should have focused more, shooting low, getting more of the flowers, because having that black image in the middle of the screen forces your eye to go there.
Image received a 21. Judges, there are 4 images to review for placement. Going back 1 to Frontman Jake. Going back 1 to Maine Lobster Wharf. Going back 1 to Raleigh Point Lighthouse. And going back 1 to Man and Horse in Sync polo match. Do you need to see them again, or are you okay?
I'm okay.
It's
Yeah.
four of them, right?
Correct.
Okay, just a minute. Okay.
Okay. Judges, a 1, 2, 3, or 4, please, for Man and Horse in Sync. Scores? 3, 3, 4. Raleigh Point Lighthouse. Scores? 2, 2, 3. Maine Lobster Wharf. Scores? 1, 1, 1. And Frontman Jake. Scores? 4, 4, 2. Okay, in first place, we have Maine Lobster Wharf. In second, we have Raleigh Point Lighthouse, but we have a tie for third. So we need to go back and vote again between the man and horse and frontman Jake. So judges, a 1 or a 2 for frontman Jake. Scores 2-2-1. So for third place, you chose man and horse in sync. Thank you. Okay, judges, I'm sticking with these judges. 2, 3, and 5, please. For master color documentary, Nevada Petroglyphs. Scores 8-8-9.
I mean, petroglyphs are a lot of fun to take. But this image, it's just a lot to take in, and your eyes are roaming all over. And plus, the left upper corner is bright and needs to be toned down. Might have been better to get a higher score to focus on one section of the petroglyphs so that we could just enjoy the one area.
Image received a 25. Diesel locomotive 250. Scores 9-8-8.
I like this image. I love the slim line. I mean, that engine, I mean, it just pops at you. Has a lot of impact. I mean, you got the whole train, you got the caboose. I mean, it's kind of bad that the buildings cut the picture kind of in half, but I think your angle works really well. I love the fact that the engine looks gigantic and it slims down to the caboose. Nice image.
Image received a 25. Pushing the brake. Scores 8-8-7.
I was right on the edge of the 7 and the 8, especially in the master category. Great action. I think the surfer looks great. You caught him at a perfect spot. I think there's way too much space on the right, especially since he's kind of the surfboard almost cuts the image right in half. So I think you'd be good if you lost a little bit of that. And maybe even instead of having so much on the right, if you had a little bit more above him, since he's kind of going into an upward motion. And outside of being like a newspaper print, I think the grain kind of takes away a lot from this image. And I know you're in documentary and you're not supposed to do anything, but I still think you need to reduce the grain at least a little bit.
Image received a 23. You have 3 images to review for placement, starting with pushing the brake, going back 1 to diesel locomotive 250, and 1 more to Nevada petroglyphs. Judges, a 1, 2, or 3, please, for Nevada petroglyphs. Scores 2-2-1. Diesel locomotive 250. Scores 1-1-2. And that leaves pushing the brake as 3-3-3. So the judges have chosen diesel locomotive 250 for first and Nevada petroglyphs for second, with pushing the brake third. Okay, one more category for our 3 judges, 2, 3, and 5. We'll do, starting in nature wildlife, with beginner color, a sparkling Volaterre hummingbird, Costa Rica. Scores? 999.
You know,
From
great.
the image of the bird, the eye is sharp. You actually almost have an expression with the bird. The background is nicely blurred away. So, wow, what an image.
Image received a 27 and was the only image in the category. Okay, we're moving to intermediate color nature wildlife. Beach bird. Judges 2, 3, and 4. Beach bird. Scores? 887.
This
You
is
know,
a really beautiful image of the pelican, and I would have scored it higher if you'd cropped it way in and made it a vertical and just included it, because you have beautiful browns in the bird and the feathers are sharp. So recrop it.
Image received a 23. It was the only image in the category. Same judges, please, for advanced color nature wildlife. A hummingbird flies to sage. Scores? 999.
I think it's beautiful. Everything from the background being kind of a gray uniform, which doesn't detract at all from the flower or the bird. I wouldn't change a thing unless there was a way not to cut off the tail of the bird right at the end. That just could be my screen though. Very good job.
Image
It's-
received a
not cut
27.
off.
And
Yeah,
it's
it's
your
not cut off,
screen.
Mike.
Yeah. Okay, bee breakfast. Scores? 999.
And we're coming up with some beautiful images of birds. I mean, this is so sharp, and that bee is sharp, and your focus just stays on the bird. And I love the angle of the bird. Really nice photo.
Image received a 27. American white pelican with fish.
We're in advanced or we're still in intermediate?
We are in advanced, yes. Scores? 777.
if you could have had a split second earlier timing with that bird, I'm sorry, with that fish being kind of flipped in the air before he swallows it, I think it'd have been great. Also, it's kind of bad that the bird's going away from you. Now, the good points are you have backlighting, so it really kind of lights up the beak, and I think that's where all the impact is that orange color of that beak as the fish goes down. But having him go away, we're just seeing kind of the butt feathers there, just kind of, takes the image down a little bit.
Image received a 21. Beauty and the Beast. Scores? 8, 9, 8.
I scored wrong. I'm supposed to be an 8.
Okay, 8,
Yep.
8, 8.
And I'll talk real quick since I changed my score. I was gonna say, great picture of the butterfly, great picture of the wasp, and even really nice pictures of the flowers. I think there's just too many elements going on, a little bit too much going on for it to be a 9. And I think when I was thinking those thoughts, I accidentally stuck the 9 up there for the score. So apologies for that, and apologies to the maker for me rescoring. But everything else, if you could just focus on the butterfly, I think it's even a stronger image area than the wasp.
Image received a 24. Death Valley. Scores? 7, 7, 8.
I gave it the 8. I was borderline. However, on my screen, part of the reflection is cut off, but that just might be me. It's kind of a difficult picture to take out at Sun Valley. So, in the middle of the day and so on.
Image received a 22. Judges, you have 3 images to review for placement. Going back 1 to Beauty and the Beast. Going back 2 to Bee Breakfast. And going back 1 to A Hummingbird Flies to Sage. Judges, a 1, 2, or 3, please, for Hummingbird Flies to Sage. Scores? 1, 1, 1. Bee Breakfast. Scores? 2, 2, 2, which leaves 3, 3, 3 for Beauty and the Beast. So the judges have chosen Hummingbird Flies to Sage. Judges 2, 4, and 5, please. We're in advanced monochrome nature wildlife due to crossing. Scores? 9, 9, 8.
I think this is very cool. I like the zebra. I like the reflection. I like the splashes, and I like the dark behind. Must be almost nighttime. It looks great.
Image received a 26. Eating fresh caught sushi. Scores? 899.
I like this image. I love your tonality of the blacks and whites. I just wish it was a different angle so you get a little bit more view of the eagle toward the side, but it's a really interesting image that you captured.
Image received a 26. Judges, there are 2 images to review for placement, starting with eating fresh caught sushi and going back 1 to Dutu Crossing. The zebras, please, Ed. Thank you. Judges, a 1 or a 2, please, for Dutu Crossing. Scores? 112. So the judges have chosen Dutu Crossing. Okay, judges 3, 4, and 5, please, for Master Color Nature Wildlife, Perched in Light.
Who are the judges again?
3, 4, and 5. Scores? 989.
I will say that I did go 9 on this. The bird looks amazing. Great light, little catch light in the eyes. I love all the texture through the feathers. They look a little bit soft, but I think it's probably because he's ruffling at the same time. The only thing I would be careful of is that your leading line goes right into the corner because it can lead you out of the image just as much as those leading lines can bring you in. So usually they're a little bit stronger when they're not straight in the corner.
Image received a 26. First look at Forever. That's the wrong image. That's first look at Forever.
We're still we're still in nature.
We
nature
are still
wildlife,
in
right?
Nature Wildlife, yes.
Okay.
And don't worry, you'll see that other image in another category later on. Scores? 788.
I don't mean to beat up on anybody because you probably traveled a long ways and you took this picture and you're very proud of it. And I think the polar bear is great. The look on his face is great. Him peeking over the snow basin is great. I just think there's way too much image for me to focus that much on him because I'm kind of going left and right to all the trees. And him being bullseye right in the middle of all this extra stuff does not help at all. So a little bit better composition. Let's crop in a little bit and get rid of some of the extra stuff all the way around. Great texture through the snow. Great look on his face. Everything else is really nice.
Image received a 23. There are 2 images to review for placement, starting with first look at Forever and going back 1 to Perched in Light. Judges, a 1 or 2, please, for Perched in Light. Scores? 111. So the judges have chosen Perched in Light. Clayton, I need you now. I know we had you cooling your heels for quite a while. Judges 1, 3, and 4, please.
I'm here.
I knew you were. For beginner color people, photographers having fun. Scores? 977.
I will talk to this because I was not there. I have no connection with this photograph, but looks absolutely staged. It is all camera club people or City Lights people also. But I love it as a photograph.
Image received a 23. Red Robin.
Can you tell us the category again?
It is people, beginner color people. Scores? 877.
I'll talk again, since everybody else has been talking. From a beginner perspective, you got the Red Robin right up there on top. That's fine. I like the color. Got a shadow of a tree, and you got people. There's a story there. They're either coming or going. Looks like they're probably leaving Red Robin. They look like they're pretty happy.
Image received a 22. Judges, they have 2 images to review for placement, starting with Red Rabbit, Red Robin, and going back 1 to photographers having fun. Judges, a 1 or 2 for the photographers, please. Scores 111. So the judges have chosen photographers having fun. Okay, judges 1, 2, and 4, please. For advanced color people, portrait in Jamaica. Scores 999.
Okay, this is a very exquisite photograph of this woman. The fact that you said portrait in Jamaica tells me that you should have put it in the portrait category. This is the people category, which is not quite the same, but it's a beautiful image of this woman. I love all the color reflections from the sunset in the water. It really works well together.
Image received a 27 and was the only image in the category. Judges 1, 2, and 3, please. For advanced monochrome people, My Lovely Bride.
This is advanced, correct?
Yes. Scores 777.
I'll talk to this as probably the minor of the group. But that thing on the left-hand side just completely distracts from the photo. It would be perfectly fine if you had gotten rid of that, and the shadow and the lighting on the two couple is just amazing. But that thing just distracts.
Image received a 21. Scary figure in the subway. Scores? 777.
I'll talk again if that's okay.
You're doing good, Clayton.
Thank you, thank you. The image in the middle, the dark shadow, yes, that's the focus, but I think if you've gotten rid of that, then yeah, then the shadowy figure would have been one of the two. You got three, get rid of one so that you can define, who's the threat and who's not the threat.
Image received a 21. Judges, you have 2 images to review for placement, starting with the scary figure in the subway and going back 1 to my lovely bride. Judges, a 1 or a 2, please, for my lovely bride. Scores? 112. So the judges have chosen my lovely bride. Judges 2, 4, and 5, please, for master monochrome people working on the railroad. Scores? 999.
I like this people image. I like the train. I like the steam coming from it. I mean, I was debating 8 and 9 because I would have liked to seen him doing a little bit of work, maybe just pouring some of that oil or whatever on the wheel. But I like his direction. I like his profile, so that part works.
Image received a 27 and was the only image in the category. Same judges, please. We're moving into the photojournalism category, and we'll be starting with an intermediate color photojournal image. Annie Leibovitz, 2026. Scores? 888.
I think it's a nice picture of her. I think that the chair she's sitting in and the posture of her arm doesn't do a service for the photo. Had it been posed a little differently, it could have scored higher.
Image received a 24 and was the only image in the category. Judges 1, 4, and 5, please, for advanced color photojournalism, forehand volley. Scores? 899.
Marvelous shot of the player and the timing to get the tennis ball right on the touch of the racket was fantastic.
Image received a 26. Frank's night out. Scores? 898.
I give it an 8 because it is an amazing picture, but if you want to get a 9, then maybe include their feet. I know what you were working with. You did a great job. But but yeah, make it a more of a complete picture. Include their feet, legs and feet.
Image received a 25. Ilya. Scores? 999.
I think it's a great action shot with the ball in the air, his eyes following it. You've got the entire tennis player and a background which does not distract, in my opinion. Good job.
And the shadow, which is added on the bottom.
There it is. Yeah, good job.
Image received a 27. Judges, there are 3 images to review for placement, starting with Ilya, going back 1 to Frank's night out, and going back 1 more for forehand volley. Judges, a 1, 2, or a 3, please, for forehand volley. Scores? 3, 1, 2. I always get scared when that happens, and it's the first image. Frank's night out. Scores? 2, 3, 3. And Ilya. Scores? 1, 2, 1. So the judges have chosen Ilya for first, forehand volley for second, and Frank's night out for third. Okay, we're moving into the monochrome division of photojournalism, advanced. Same, the same, no, I can't read numbers. Judges 1, 2, and 4, please, for this. Someday.
Category?
Advanced monochrome photojournalism. Scores? 999.
I love this image. I mean, that's exactly what those 2 boys would do, being so hyped and excited and wishing that they were there and old enough to do that. This was really, really good image that you created.
Image received a 27. WORC, WORC. Scores? 999.
This is a great image too. I love the action. I love the slant that he's on. I mean, it is a little hard with all the grays to focus in on him, but I mean, this was also a great capture of this person on his bike.
Image received a 27 as well. Judges, you have 2 images to review for placement, starting with
I don't
WORC.
want to. I don't want to.
Really.
Stop pounding your feet, Clayton. No. Starting with WORC and then going back 1 to someday.
Can I see them again?
We're trying to get to someday. There we go. Judges, a 1 or a 2, please, for someday. Scores? 1, 1, 1. So the judges have chosen someday.
If I can say, you know, between those two shots, yes, Sunday one, I think maybe the other one, if it was a little more black and white or more, a little more contrasty, it would have done better.
Okay, thank you. Judges 2, 3, and 4, please, for master color photojournalism. Out of bounds.
Judges, one more time. Sorry, Linda.
2, 3, and 4.
2, 3, and 4 out of bounds. Master color photojournalism.
Photojournalism.
Okay.
Scores? 9, 8, 8.
I'm the high scorer. I like the fact that all the main people are facing you and facing the action. And I like the ref there. You're saying out of bounds, but the guy with the football looks like he's in bounds. So I don't know.
Yeah, I'm gonna say something real quick. That's kind of why I think if you wouldn't have gave me that title, I probably would have gave this a 9. But the title made me try and figure out what the out of bounds was. And if you look all the way to the left, the guy in the white UNLV shirt, I think is saying he's not saying out of bounds, but I almost feel like he's the one saying out of bounds. Because why would he be saying the Rebels out of bounds? So I kind of got conflicted with the title and the image.
Image received a 25. Echoes on Rawhide. Scores? 7, 8, 8.
I was the low scorer. I just think the handles that you pound on the drum with need to be placed in a different order. I mean, otherwise I think that would make more interesting image. They're just kind of laying on top of each other. A little bit more organized placement on there would have been better for me.
Image received a 23. Whale surfaces near shore. Scores? 7, 8, 8.
I'm one of the 8s, and you can definitely see the whale. It is a small part of the photograph. In the end, though, maybe if it was cropped a little better. Whales are tough. That's all I have to say.
I'm
Okay.
gonna say, Linda, just real quick. I think Janice probably scored this the best. I gave it an 8, but I think I'm scoring more on the pictorial value of the image I really liked. I think if this would have been in that category, it would have scored higher, probably from all the judges. But yeah, to me, the wells, like Michael said, they're hard to shoot. It almost looks like a truck tire floating in the water. And but if you didn't, again, title wise, if you didn't tell me well in there, I probably would have looked at it and said, "Wow, I really love this image. The city looks amazing."
Image received a 23. Judges, you have 3 images to review for placement, starting with whale surfaces near shore, going back 1 to echoes on rawhide, and going back 1 to out of bounds. Judges, a 1, 2, or 3, please, for out of bounds. Scores 1, 1, 1. Echoes on rawhide. Scores 2, 3, 3. And whale surfaces near shore. Scores 3, 2, 2. So the judges have chosen out of bounds for first, whale surfaces near shore in second, and echoes on rawhide for third. Same judges, please. We are moving into the pictorial category now, and we will start with intermediate color pictorial, spring. Scores 7, 8, 8.
I'm the low scorer on this. I mean, the tree's just starting to bud, so it's springtime, but the girl, if you had her facing you, her jumping up and down because she likes being in the nice weather, that would have improved it. And plus the ground, like half the ground is dark and half the ground is green. So that needed to be adjusted just by your position. But I just think the girl, if she had a better playful kind of image in the photograph, it would help with the spring title.
Image received a 23 was the only image in the category. Judges 1, 3, and 4, please. For advanced color pictorial, surf and sun. Scores 9, 8, 9.
I will talk because I'm the low score. Great little ball of fire over there. Nice color in the sky. You handled the clouds really well. I think because you have your horizon right in the middle of the image, you've cut it in half. And I think if you just get rid of those rocks in the foreground, because I think the sky is more important than the rocks in this instance. The rocks give you a little bit of depth, but I think the sky's got more interest in it. So if you cut like, right above the big rock here in the front, I think it's going to be a stronger composition and a stronger image.
Image received a 26. Crete, Senecy. Scores? 788.
Yeah, I'm the 7 and I'll talk to it. I love the composition, but I think, I'll just say it, I think it's, over processed. I think it's, whatever you did to bring it all out from the brightness on the left to the darkness in the city in the valley. Certainly interesting, but I don't believe it, and I think it's just been over processed. But you know what, the good part is that it's an amazing composition. So go back there and retake that picture.
Image received a 23. Badwater Stroll. Scores? 888.
Yeah, I'll talk to this one again. You know, I'm not the expert Photoshop guy. But yeah, I love the tonal contrast in this image. But the two people, I can visibly see that there's been some kind of a highlight put around them, and it's unnatural. Great picture, great composition, but you know, watch what you do with your editing.
Image received a 24. A Quiet Spot. Scores? 978.
I'm in the middle. I like the picture. I think it's a very pretty picture and a nice spot. I think that the river leads your eye into the ocean, into the surf. The fact that the people are very, very small gives the picture some depth. I think it's a good job.
Image received a 24. Palouse Farm. Scores? 888.
Mhm. I'll talk to it. I don't know if the other judges would agree or not, but there's haze in this image. Perfect colors. Love the composition. Great that you're at that spot to take this image. Doesn't matter about the sky, but it, you know, in Lightroom there's a button called dehaze and a slider, and you can slide that left and right and see if it looks better. This is just my interpretation and my thoughts.
Image received a 24. Badwater Basin Sunset. Scores? 988.
I can speak to this one. Badwater Basin is a cool place and it changes from day to day with the water either being there or not being there. And that's exactly what it looks like. I would have thought that the picture could be a little stronger if the bottom were cropped out and maybe making it a little more of a strip photograph. Other than that, I wouldn't change anything.
Image received a 25. Judges, you have 5 images to review for placement, starting with Badwater Basin sunset, going back 1 to Palouse Farm, going back 1 to A Quiet Spot, going back 1 to Badwater Stroll, and going back 2 to Surf and Sun. Do you need to see them again?
I would like to see them one more time.
Not
and
a problem.
I apologize.
Surf and Sun, forward 2 to Badwater Stroll, forward 1 to A Quiet Spot, forward 1 to Palouse Farm, and forward 1 to Badwater Basin sunset. We good?
I'm
Yep.
good.
Okay. Judges, a 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 for Badwater Basin sunset. Scores? 3, 2, 4. Palouse Farm. Scores? 3, 3, 2. We got a problem already, I think. But we'll see. A Quiet Spot. Score.